Good day, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to GBL, the old church, 5-acre homestead. Did you know that today is the 1st of August? And we're going to take a walk through the raised bed, vegetable garden, and greenhouse, and we're going to have a chat about all the changes that have occurred during the month of July, which brings us now to today, August the 1st. Let's enjoy this tour together. Welcome, folks. Welcome. Mr. Garry here. Normally I begin these walkthroughs, these garden tours on the other side of our garden. Well, today I decided to change it up a little bit and bring you our garden tour, our August garden tour from this part, from the back side of our garden. And I'm standing in front of those two large hugelkultur beds that are full of cabbage and full of turnip plants. Let's take a look together. These are the cabbage plants that we brought back from New Brunswick, Canada. They're turning into beautiful, beautiful cabbages. The leaves on some of these cabbages are actually very, very huge, folks. And they're growing very, very well, I must say. I did some changing and some renovating, I guess you could call it, in this little section of our garden right here. This is where we had our large fish pans, our large totes that we were using to cart soil and crushed stone and things like that back and forth. So I've moved that and I'm setting up a little place here to sit. If you have some ideas, as to what Mr. Garry and Miss Betty can do with this little section in our garden extension, just look at that. We've added some lattice above the hugelkultur beds in the last couple of days. And we've got this beautiful little bench here, this wrought iron bench that I picked up at a yard sale for just 20 bucks Canadian. What do you think of that? It's a project for this winter. I'm going to be working on that and turning that into something quite adorable and very attractive for our garden. Let's go and take a look at the other cabbage bed as well. These are the cabbages that we grew from seed. We ordered some seeds from Vessey's on Prince Edward Island, and we've transplanted them here in this large hugelkultur bed, and they're doing very, very well, I must say. Growing not as large as the cabbages we brought back from New Brunswick, but they are doing very, very well in this bed. And there's some turnips there as well. And we've already had a meal of the turnip greens on our Sunday dinner yesterday. Now, let me swing around slowly and show you the rest of the garden. I'm standing now next to a couple of potato beds. These are potatoes that I've grown from just 2 small bags of store-bought russet potatoes. 2 beds right here, and I'll show you some more in a second. There's our summer savory, growing very, very well in that pot tucked away right there in between these 2 beds of potatoes. There's our onions. We had a couple that bolted and went to flower, and I produced a video yesterday, created a video yesterday. That's on our YouTube channel. Go check that out. What to do with bolted onions. You're going to want to watch that. So go take a look at that. Look at those sugar snap peas, would you? Look how tall they are. They are about 4 or 5 feet tall, and lots and lots and lots of great sugar snap peas on them. They're about 100. Our peppers are doing very, very well. Here's 1 bed of peppers right there, doing very well. As I said, we'll soon have some peppers growing on those. 2 beautiful, beautiful beds of carrots growing in our raised beds. Let me try to get around the corner here, because this bed of sugar snap peas is actually toppled over with all the weight. So Mr. Garry's going to have to try and fix that. The sugar snap peas are growing very, very well, as you can see. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the height of it. Okay, another bed of potatoes from those store-bought russet potatoes, folks. Look at that. Some of these are gone to flower. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful flowers on these potato stalks. Another bed of peppers. A bed of Leyte turnip in the distance there, folks. They will do well, and we won't be harvesting them till late October, November anyway. So lots and lots of time for those turnips to grow to fruition. Another bed of onions right here. looking really, really great. Look at that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me take you into our greenhouse. I just watered this. The temps in here, folks, believe it or not, today, just look at that. Let me zoom in. It's 40 degrees Celsius inside this greenhouse today. I'm sure that's around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Here's our cucumbers growing very, very tall, and lots of flowers. Tama green tomatoes there in the corner from my friend Cody. Groundskeeper Cody in Alberta, Canada sent me some Tama green seeds, and I planted those, and they're right there in that corner. There's some Manitobas that we've grown from seed, and some more Tama greens in this corner, as well as just 3 sugar baby watermelon plants right here. We have a watermelon flower there, so hopefully very, very soon we'll have some tiny watermelons to take care of in this greenhouse. Now let me swing around. 3 more watermelons on this side, and there's our corn. Our corn has grown to about 6 feet. This greenhouse is about 8 feet, folks. And these corn, look at that, look at that, look at that. Now, let me take you out and show you the rest of the garden as we go around. Coming around there, that's that other bed of onions that I just mentioned to you. There's a hosta plant there, gone the flower, beautiful, beautiful. 2 more beds of potatoes from just those 2 small sacks of store-bought russet potatoes. I'm heading back toward the front of the garden now. Here's our tomatoes in those red totes. I pruned and cut off the lower leaves on all of these a few days ago, and as you can see, about a foot up, I guess, from the bottom. If you have tomato plants, folks, and you're growing tomatoes, make sure you do your pruning. This is the perfect time of year to do your pruning, and make sure you remove all the leaves. Like I said, about a foot from the bottom. That's very, very important. And of course, if there are any suckers growing in the V's, you need to pick those. So I'm gonna pick that one right there now. Okay, I'm gonna snip that one off. There you go. We're heading out toward the front of our garden now, folks. A little tomato over here all by itself, growing very, very well. I did a tower this morning. I did a tower for Miss Betty this morning. We bought some plants a little while ago, and we weren't sure what to do with them. And I said to Miss Betty, we should make a tower. So we had this tower container system just sitting in the greenhouse, and I decided to fill it with some soil and put in all these various plants in this. So looking forward to seeing how that's going to grow. Beautiful looking though, eh? I think so. Back to the rose bush. We will actually end this garden tour today in front of the rose bush. Beautiful, beautiful pink roses on this rose bush, all in bloom, and it's going to bloom a second time later on, I do believe, around the end of August, early September. So we'll look forward to a second blooming of this rose bush. But for now, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Folks, that's our garden tour for the first day of August. Thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Appreciate you stopping by and spending a few minutes with me today. This is Gary from GBL-The Old Church 5-Acre Homestead, wishing you happy gardening. Have a blessed week. Enjoy your August in your part of the world, folks. Mr. Garry saying goodbye and signing out. Take care, folks.